Hi, welcome to another edition of Whiteboard Wednesdays. I'm your host, Brett Williams, and with me as always,
Seth Pike.
Hey Seth, we've been talking about market.
What's up with the pen flip?
Hey, it's pen flipping Wednesday.
Right.
We've been talking about the 3 steps that we take to prepare a market report when we have a request for one. First one we talked about is what's my market.
Yes.
The second one we talked about what's happening inside that market, and we found 50 to 100 homes. What's the third step in determining the market?
Okay,
price?
The third step, now we're moving into comparable sales. We want to find out of those 50 to 100 homes or whatever we determined was the market area, what are closest to the subject property? What are closestly going to tell us what your home is selling for? And you remember from last week, we're going to always have 3 categories. The homes are either going to be actively on the market, they're going to be pending, which means that they are under contract but they haven't sold yet, and then they're going to be the sold, which we're paying the most attention to the solds, obviously, in the comparable process, because they give us the most data about what have buyers actually paid for similar homes in the last, and it's important that these are within 6 months.
Okay. So I talked about the 2 different kind of neighborhoods back in the first step. What if I have a home in, let's say, Skagit Highlands? How easy is it or difficult?
You're talking about a neighborhood like essentially a tract home builder neighborhood that is built by one builder, a large builder like Quadrant, who builds, who has Skagit Highlands neighborhood in Skagit County. That neighborhood, we've got so many homes and they're so similar, you're going to be able to find at any given time a lot of comparable sales that we can pretty much just go by square footage and plus or minus out features. You know, maybe one has a slightly better trim package than the other, but the homes are going to be so comparable, we can be within $5,000 to $10,000 of what a sale price is going to be.
Okay. What if I have that home, let's say out in Bow or in the Bayview area?
Oh, Bayview, yes, another good area that is totally different than a development neighborhood where you've got, you know, like our area, we have a lot in the country. Those areas are more difficult. What we want to do with more of a country setting, we're never going to be able to find exact comparables. So what we want to do is we want to do what I call bracket pricing. So we want to have a high and a low, meaning if this is your home in Bayview, Brett, we want to know, okay, let's find whatever comps we possibly can that without a doubt are nicer homes. Yours is not going to sell higher than this.
Okay.
And then likewise, without a doubt, what homes are not going to sell lower than that. And then we can kind of move in from there based on, well, this one had a $100,000 shop on it, just built last year, or your home has a view of the San Juan Islands for 180 degrees, and these ones don't. So you're going to have to narrow it down from there. But sometimes our range is going to be a lot broader for homes in the country. It's just impossible to pin it down. But we still want to find at least 6 to 9 properties that we can go off of, and sometimes we have to expand the area in that case as well.
So with a neighborhood like Skagit Highlands, it can be really easy to get a really close estimate, and with other neighborhoods, it's a little more difficult. And what do you say? What's the price range we might find?
It totally depends. You know, there might be enough data. There might be similar homes in the neighborhood out in the country that happen to have sold recently that give us really accurate data, but sometimes there isn't. It's just it basically goes for lack of data to draw from. When there's less data, obviously it's less accurate.
Okay, so again, it can be super easy to find a value. It can be a little more difficult on some properties, but that's how we go about doing it. That's another edition of Whiteboard Wednesdays. I'm Brett.
I'm Seth.
We'll see you later.
Have a good pen flipping Wednesday.